All right. So today, like I told you guys yesterday, I'm actually going to go through this pretty quick today. There is some stuff on this that's going to be kind of hard, but we're going to go through the really easy stuff really, really fast. Understand? So today we're going to be solving equations. Now this is something you guys have done since, when do you start solving equations? 6th grade? Probably. For sure 7th, but I think 6th grade. So today we're going to start off by solving one-step equations. So if you guys look at this top problem here, 9 plus 5u. Okay, really easy, really simple. Joe, how would I solve that? What? Backwards. It is backwards. It is backwards, right? If it was written like this, would it look normal? So what would you do? We would do the opposite of plus 5, which is subtract 5, and you get u equals 4 is your solution. Okay, Haley, number 2. You add 2, which is w equals 12. Good. Number 3, Anna. Okay, so v equals? Perfect. Okay, Nathan, number 4.
You add 7 both sides.
U equals? Okay, those are called one-step equations. Now, today you're actually going to start playing in the world of fractions quite a bit. Hey, and I always give this lecture every single year. And I'm going to teach you something that's going to change your life with fractions today. It was about when I was a freshman or sophomore in high school, I made a decision that I wasn't going to be scared of fractions anymore. In fact, this is something that's actually ingrained into us as kids, right? We see a fraction, and when we're in 4th grade and we start learning fractions, or 3rd grade and we start learning fractions, your teacher presents it like this, and trust me, I've heard it. Now today we're going to learn about fractions. I know everyone hates fractions. Yeah, you guys can probably remember teachers saying that, it was exact same words, right? I gotta put on my thing real quick. So, you guys can probably remember your teacher saying something similar to that, right? Your teachers, I call it ingraining into. The exact same thing happens when you start learning negative numbers. Your teacher starts saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, we have to deal with negative numbers today." Negative numbers are just as easy as positive numbers. It's just whether or not how you look at them. So today, I'm going to teach you to not be scared of fractions anymore. And I know some of you guys aren't scared of them. Some of you say, "Well, that's stupid to say you're scared of something." I'm going to teach you not to be worried about fractions anymore, because I'm going to teach you how to get rid of them from the get-go. Understand? Because fractions are one thing we can look at. We can say, "Oh, the heck with this," right? You can look at this problem right here and you can say, "Oh, God," right? And you can do this, and you sit there and want to feel fit. And Lane's on the ground crying, and all heck's breaking loose, right? So this is what we're going to do. Everyone ready? I'm going to teach you how to get rid of fractions so you got a problem that looks normal instead of with fractions. Ready? So in order to do this problem, we'd have to first find a common denominator, right? So what's the common denominator?
30.
How do you know it's 30, Nathan?
Because that's just the smallest number that they both go into.
Perfect. The smallest number that both denominators go into. Now, does x have a denominator?
1.
It's 1, right? There is a 1 underneath it. So we know 30 is it, right? So watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to times all 3 terms by 30. By doing that, I end up with 30x minus 1/5 times 30. Does anyone know what that is? 6. If you don't believe me, you can go into your calculator and plug that in. If you want to see how to do it, you can go 30 times 1/5, which gives you 30 over 5, which is 6, equals. So now we have negative 5/6 times 30.
25, negative 25?
Yep. And there's your new equation. Is that equation can you guys do that one a lot easier than you can do this one? This is an equation that should be second nature to you, right? This is an equation. This right here looks nightmarish. This one right here, we're going to add 6. We're going to get 30x equals negative 19. Divide by 30. And we get x equals negative 19 over 30. And your answer's there. What the heck? Stop it. So you get x equals negative 19 over 30. Like I said, there was a point when I was like a freshman or sophomore, and I really think this is what changed my life in math, is I just made a decision that I wasn't going to worry about fractions anymore, and that I basically was just going to say fractions are easy, and I was done with them. I had a teacher that taught me how to get rid of them like this, and from then on out, no matter which math class I took, how high in math I went, I got rid of fractions before I even started problems. And if you want to do it the old way, you want to subtract 1/4 here, like this problem, from negative 5/8, that's fine. Get a common denominator, subtract them. I get rid of them. You can still do it the old way. I get rid of them. So what's the common denominator of 4 and 8? 8. So we can actually times all these by 8. What? Come on now. So we get 8w plus 2 minus. How much easier is that problem looking than the one running right next to it? I mean, you look at this problem right here and you're like, son of a gun, right? It was funny when I showed you, okay, fractions. I bet 2/3 of you went, yeah. Right? But if the problem was that, I wouldn't have heard one noise. I would have been like, yeah, I can do this, right? But I show you this, right? He's such a good. All right, so we subtract 2. Right? Which cancels there. We get 8w equals negative 7. Divide by 8, and w equals negative 7/8. Alright, onward and upward. Here we go. That's only if you're adding or subtracting fractions. When we multiply them coming up, it's just as easy. Number 7, how do I do it? Ryan, how do I do number 7?
3 divided by 39.
So we divide both sides by 3 to get rid of it. And we get, is that 13? Okay. Number 8. Cameron, since he's sleeping, how do I do number 8? Perfect. So we divide by 5. Cameron, what's 75 divided by 5? Cameron, what's 75 divided by 5? Oh, right. Okay, here we go. Number 9. Let's go to down. How do I do number 9? By? So divide by 16, which gives us b equals 8 over 16, which reduces to 1/2. Number 10. Lydia. Okay, what's b going to equal, Lydia? Which is? Perfect. Okay. Who could tell me how to solve that right there? Haley. Perfect. So if you ever have a fraction times by the variable, you have to. So what we're doing right here is we're dividing by the fraction, right? It's the exact same thing as this problem right above it, except for this time we're dividing by a fraction. But when we divide by a fraction, we have to flip the fraction and we times. So we're timesing both sides by 4/7 here. Okay? Does anyone know what it is? 16. Nice. So if you're unsure, if you need a calculator, you can go 28 times 4 over 7, which this reduces to 1 and a 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, look at this one. Ooh. Man, I'm calling on all kinds of people today, aren't I? Lane, how do I do that one? What do I do here? I times by what? Look right there. What do I times by to get rid of 7/4? Yeah, so then so if we flipped it, right? So what are we going to times this one by?
500.
Good. So we're timing both sides by 5/4. So W equals 50. Nice. Okay. Look, now we're at what? We got easier? How the heck did it do this? All right, here we go. Number 13, Ashlyn. We divide by 4, which gives us V equals what, Ashlyn? Perfect. Okay. Jackson, number 14. Which gives us? He said 4, and I actually looked up here to see if the problem, even though I'm looking at the problem right here, I actually looked up there to see if that problem was different than this one. That was it. He said 4, and I'm like, no, that says the same thing. Okay. All right. Okay. That's all one-step equations. Really simple stuff, right? All right. We're gonna get into two-step equations. We're gonna go through them. I'm gonna keep calling you guys. You guys ready? Okay. Who wants the first one? And then we'll pick. Spencer, go. How do I solve it? Okay. Why would I minus 17 first and not divide by 4 first? Okay. It's reverse PEMDAS, right? But it's also, your goal is to get y by itself. So you start farthest away from the variable, and you work towards the variable, right? Good. Now what? Perfect. So y equals 13. I'll help you out there. Okay? Randy, how do I do number 16? Okay. So we get 32 equals 2y. Now what? All right. What's the answer? Nice. All right, here we go. A little bit harder. We're going to keep getting a little bit tougher. Back up. How do I do this one? Okay, so we get negative x equals 139. Positive 139, right? Okay, Becca, that's not our answer though. What do we got to do? Right here. So we get negative x equals 139. That way you can see it a little better. Times by what? I like it. You're getting closer. I like that. Okay, Veronica, what do we do? So there's two things you can do right here. We have to get x alone. If there's a negative still attached to the variable, we can either divide by a negative 1, which in turn gives us this, or we can times by a negative 1, which cancels it also, which still gives us the exact same solution. Okay? Any questions on that one? All right, this one's similar. Here we go.
Wait. Oh,
Like a negative number? There's our problem right there. I just changed it. Ready? Okay. Carter, how do I do it? So we subtract 22 from both sides, we get negative 244 equals negative v. Now what, Carter? So we divide by negative 1, so v equals a positive 244. See that, Jackson? Good. All right, what about this one? 19. I'm cruising. Hey, Addison, what about number 19? Tell me. Stay quiet. I'm gonna go through this as fast as I possibly can as long as you're quiet. Okay, so we're there. Now what? Divide by 5. We get x equals negative 3. Good. Okay, I'm gonna skip over 20. We're going to 21. Apple, how do I do it? Oh, yeah. Don't be so unsure, man. Hey, you look at me and you say times by 4. That's right. Boom. Now what, Apple? Atta girl! Now what? You son of a gun. Perfect. Okay. 22. William! How do we do number 22? I like you.
Minus 19.
Not first. Here, you can phone a friend. Phone a friend. Wrong friend to phone. William, phone a friend. Okay. I would actually times by 3 first. You have to get rid of the denominator first. Okay, William, now what do there? What do I do next?
Then you subtract.
Nice.
And then you divide by 2.
Perfect. All right, guess what we're back to? Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Shh, 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 shh. Who am I going to pick on? Man, fractions happen and hardly anyone looks at me in the eyes. It's like them up there on the roof. Okay, here we go. What's the common denominator? Someone tell me. Down. 9. So I'm going to times all 3 terms by 9. So I'm going to times this one by 9. I'm going to times this one by 9. I'm going to times that one by 9. 5 nines times 9 is 5x. 9 times 7 is 63. 2/3 times 9 is 6. How easy is that problem now? It's a problem we've been doing for the last 5 minutes. We can subtract 63. We have 5x equals negative 57. Then we divide by 5. Oh, her phone is going nuts over here. Oh, yes! Oh my goodness, hold on, time out. We did that one wrong.
You won the lottery.
It doesn't want us to solve, it just wants us to rewrite the equation without fractions. So that's the answer on that one. We didn't have to solve that one. Look, it just says rewrite the equation below so that it does not have fractions. Boom. So here we go. Hey, this one you're on your own. Ready? I want you to rewrite that problem without fractions. Go.
Regular piece of paper.
Yeah, and just on a piece of paper. I don't mind what it's in and what it looks like. That one's actually kind of tough.
Now, you need to do other stuff.
No. My paper.
I just did it out longhand without clearing the fractions and kept the fractions in place. Oh, there's a reason why I teach you to clear fractions. Get rid of them. At one time, one of your fractions is 23 over 48. Not in the way your guys' way it will be. It's 23 over 8. That's what it is. 'Just rewrite it. All right, I'm gonna knock it out. What is the number you times? 24, right? Now you could have times the bigger one, it's just gonna make a bigger, you get to the exact same answer, you're just gonna make it a bigger number problem. So if we times 24 by them all, we get 20x, is that right? Minus 48 equals 21. Okay. And so if I was to go, so that would be your answer. That's what they're asking. Read the question, right? If I was to go through and solve that, I get 69 over 20. I add 48 divided by 20. 2 steps. This is the work it takes if you do not clear fractions. So look at this. I want to just show you why why I taught you how to clear fractions. Look, if I add 2 here, I have to get a common denominator. So 2's common denominator is 16 over 8, which then if you add them together, you get 23 over 8. And then you have to times both sides by 6/5. 23 over 8 times 6/5. I reduced it to 4 and a 3 to make it so I could actually multiply them. And you get 69 over 20. One's a lot easier than the other. So, do it that way. Okay, that's it. Your assignment's on Alex. Good luck. Britton?
So my dad said about 20,
Yeah.
they actually did vote, they just sent a petition to the governor.